Season 6 rolling along, Inside Athletics, brought to you by the IAAF. I'm your host, Ato Bolden. Very special edition today of Inside Athletics, and that's because we have one of the finest talents in all of track and field in the person of the USA's Sydney McLaughlin, already an Olympian and the world junior record holder in the 400-meter hurdles event. So welcome to the show, Sydney. So let me start by making you blush a little bit. I have seen LeBron James at your age. I knew he was going to be great. I saw Allison Felix at your age, and I knew she was going to be great. And the first time I saw you, it was indoors in the Northeast United States, and I went, she is next. And I have lived to see you make an Olympic team at a very young age and really sort of become the future of the sport. So my question to you is, how do you handle these lofty expectations from the entire planet?
The entire planet. Oh, that's a great question. You know, a lot of it, I think, is my family. My parents definitely manage that very well, you know, manage the social media and the outside expectations along with my own expectations that I put on myself, and kind of just making me realize, you know, at the end of the day, track and field should be fun and not stressful. And although those expectations are absolutely great, you know, they're great to have those goals set. You know, at the end of the day, it's what I'm willing to do. So I think family, most importantly, my coach, definitely, you know, because he knows what I'm capable of track-wise. And I think just myself, kind of just having that mentality that, you know, not to put this much pressure on myself and just enjoy what I do.
Some of the greatest rumors that I've heard in the last year, you were the subject of them. She's going to Kentucky, but so-and-so is willing to pay her blank amount. Tell me about your decision to actually go to the University of Kentucky, despite all those rumors swirling as to how much money you were being paid to not go to college.
Yeah, I mean, you know, college is an experience. It's part of being a teenager, getting to that rite of passage, getting to leave home and get that freedom and you know what I'm saying? Just be able to live life still. And I think being able to do that and also run track, you know, it's progressional. I think you have to go from high school to college to pro, and I wanted to be able to get all those steps in. And I think it's a great transition because, you know, this is the next step in competition before. I don't want to just jump.
Right.
Making that jump can be very difficult. You're basically running for a paycheck, and I don't think I'm ready to do that yet, to run for food on the table. You know, I'd like to be able to, you know, progress in the sport first before I decide to make that decision.
And tell me why you made the decision. You could have gone, obviously, anywhere you wanted. Why did you choose to go to Coach Flo and the University of Kentucky?
Coach Flo, you know, and I connected on the phone before we even met in person.
Really?
At first, when he talked on the phone, I thought he was an old man. Because of his voice.
he's my age, so yeah, he's an old man. You thought he was much older?
Yes, but that's just how he is. But yeah, he definitely knows what he's doing. I mean, when you have a world record holder and 3 Olympians and 2 world champions training there, you definitely know. And you know, he's crazy, but he's the right amount of crazy, I think. And he definitely knows how to fix my form and fix what needs to be fixed in order for me to get faster. You
touched a little bit on your training group, which includes Omar McLeod of Jamaica, Olympic champion, Kenny Harrison, world record holder. You have a lot of world champions and Olympic champions in that group. When you go out to practice every day, I don't think you guys get to train together, but when you are in that environment, have you already sort of gotten a sense of, yeah, I have accomplished a lot as a junior, but look at how much more I have to go? Oh, yes. Actually, I had hurdle practice with them before I came here. Oh, you did? And Kenny and Corey were just out there doing the drills, and he was like, perfect, perfect. And I just have to keep repetition, and you know, I'm not at that level yet, but it's great to be able to have them push me and give me advice, especially when I get frustrated with myself and with my coach. So I think it's great having them there because they've been through it, and they're definitely going to help push me to the next level. You mentioned Corey Carter, who is of course now the world champion in your event. The event is so difficult in the United States. You ran a world junior record under 54 this year. And were in the back of the U.S. national final. Tell me about, sometimes you think about that and go, maybe I should try to find another event, because I mean, look at how tough your event is in your country to make the team. It's the most depth I've ever seen, I think. Yeah. You know, we had 3 girls under 52 and then 3 girls in 53, and
53 low didn't even make the team, and that's scary, but so exciting for our country's future. That's scary for me, knowing that I have a long way to go before I can make that team, but very exciting to know that we have that many girls that can run that fast.
So you're coming off of your second consecutive Athlete of the Year in high school. I follow you on social media in part because I'm curious, what is it like to walk in your shoes as a high school star of that sort of magnitude? You seem to handle it pretty well. What were some of the toughest things about being you, but still being in high school?
Part of it is track meets, you know, because you go to track, people recognize you, and you're trying to warm up, and they want to take pictures, but I'm like, okay, can we now warm up, And, with a lot of positive things on social media, and, the attention you get comes a lot of negative.
Of course.
The people that just, want to bring up things from your past and try to just bash you and, bring the outside world into the track world. And, it's difficult dealing with both, but, I definitely try my best to separate the two, my personal life and my social life.
You were the youngest member of the USA team that went to Rio in the 2016 Olympic Games. That, to any outsider, would seem like wouldn't have mattered what happened in Rio. She got the experience, she got to the semifinal round, but in your interview with NBC, you seemed to be genuinely frustrated that it didn't go better. Tell me about what you remember about Rio.
I remember just, it went by so quickly, you know.
Not the race, just the experience?
No, just the experience. I feel like, I didn't take as much time to soak it all in. I was more focused on the races, which, that's why I'm there. But at the same time, I feel like I should have been able to enjoy it. And I think I spent so much time stressing about, I'm about to run on the biggest stage in the world, that I didn't really get to take it all in as much. And frustration, yes, I think other people are like, yeah, well, she went and she was that young. But at the same time, I know that I had what it took to make the team. And if I didn't even run as fast as I did.
Didn't you have a cold? Weren't you sick?
I had something. I don't know what it was.
Really? Yeah, because I remember you being congested and not feeling 100%. That had to be frustrating to be on the biggest stage ever, and you're, as you said, a member of Team USA and wanting to do well, and then your body sort of betrays you.
But yeah, it is what it is at this point. But I think being able to just go and get that experience and be able to know for next time what to do and what not to do is the biggest takeaway from it. So
you look back now on your Olympic experience and you think, what would you change, if anything? I
think, personally, I would not stay in the Olympic Village.
Really?
Because I think being able to stay with my family definitely took my mind off things. I stayed with them after I had raced, and I just felt a lot more comfortable because I was with people I knew. I loved the team, and I definitely connected with them after I raced. I think everyone's in their kind of zone before, and they're kind of doing their own thing. So being a 17-year-old that didn't know anybody, I was kind of just in my room, by myself, stressing because it was my first time doing any of that. So definitely being with people I know and being more comfortable.
Let's talk a little bit about your 2017 season, which was another amazing one, 2 World Junior records, a sub-50 split, which to me is as impressive as anything that you've done. Sort of walk me through, because 2016 you've had this fantastic year, everybody knows your name, and in 2017 everybody, your critics and your cynics are looking to see, is she going to be another high schooler that starts to fall off, or is she going to continue? Assess your 2017 for me.
My goal going into 2017 was just to be better than I was the year before. I think every year of high school that was my goal. To run, if I was a half a second faster, 0.01 faster, I wanted to be better than I was the year before. So going in, I knew the 400 indoor, I wanted to be a little bit faster. I was trying to go 50, didn't work out. I have to work on my first 200, but that's besides the point. And then going into outdoor, I wanted to get that 53. I'd been going down year by year, and I knew that this was the next step. And I think, I got to 54.03 early in the season, and I was like, okay, this is doable. And it took that race, at USA's, that ridiculously fast race that I was amazed by. But I think getting there, and then the 49, that hurt so bad.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you've never felt pain like that before.
I've never felt pain like that in my life. But I was happy afterwards.
Let's talk a little bit about that U.S. Nationals race and your World Junior record. What's the exact number? 53 what?
53.83.
82. So it's your first time under 54, and as you said, it was a race that amazed you. Did you feel like the older women just sort of dragged you around that track to that world junior record, or were you very conscious of, I'm going faster than I ever have before?
I did not know what was going on until 200 because I was in lane 8,
Right.
which I had never been in lane 8 before. So I did not know what I was doing. But, you know, once we got to 300, I was just trying to stay with them as much as I could. You know, even if I didn't make the team, which I knew chances were I wouldn't because they've run amazing times so far. My goal was just to get to 53, so I tried to just hang on and do the best I could.
Now your 49 came on a relay where you had some ground to make up. I have to tell you that even though it hurts you, for somebody like me who's a track and field fan who knew that you were capable of sub 50, when you get that baton, I'm like, good, we're gonna get it here because she's gonna have to run sub 50 to chase her down. So okay, you get the baton and you have ground to make up. You did the right thing as far as I'm concerned because you didn't try to get it all at once. The good anchors slowly reel people back in. Take me through that 4x4 anchor though.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and we knew, my team knew, we knew what time we would have to run to win and where I would need to get it, probably about 20 to 30 meters out.
So you were expecting that you were going to have a deficit to make up?
Yes, I didn't know actually my teammate had like strained her hamstring while she was running our third leg, so that's why we were a little bit further than I expected, but it was okay. Yeah, so I got the baton, and once I got it, I knew. I was like, I can get her. So, you know, more or less, I tried to go out and slowly, one by one, pass them. Went out in 23 something, 23 low.
Nice.
Was in lane 2 the whole race, so I was basically running more than I should have.
Yeah.
And, you know, coming around the last turn, I was like, you just need to get her. You know, there was one girl left, I was like, just get her. And there was one point where I just didn't feel myself moving at all, and we were like tied, and I was like, okay, someone needs to pass somebody. And, you know, I just had that extra kick, and I just tried to hold my form as best as I could until I got to the finish line.
Now, you have a brother that competes. You come from a sort of an athletic family. Any pressure to be where you are now, or was it always a sort of, well, if she gets there, fine, and if not, that's fine too?
I don't think there was ever any pressure. You know, my parents definitely made it, this is your decision. You know, what you do is your decision. If you want to do track, great. If you want to do a different sport, great. If you don't want to do anything, that's fine. You know, they're going to support me anyway, but I think when they kind of figured out that this was for me, they definitely put all their support into it. You know, my parents work everything behind the scenes, and my siblings are very supportive of me as well, even though they get a little jealous sometimes. My little brother, when I first made the Olympic team, he was like, oh gosh, she made the team, now I'm going to have to hear about this. I was like... Your
sister's an Olympian for the rest of her life.
Yeah, so I think sometimes it can be annoying to them, but they definitely support me through all of it.
You are still a teen, and track and field is an extremely hard sport to train for. How often do you find yourself saying, like, what am I doing here? If I never do anything else, I've already had a fantastic career. Does that happen none of the time, 50% of the time, or close to 100% of the time?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yes, always.
Like 6.5 days out of the week.
Out of 7?
Yes. I mean,
how do you get through it though? Because, you know, not again, you have the weight of expectation of everybody else. I want to see how fast you can run because I think you're the next world record holder in this event. But you also have your own personal goals. How do you balance that with just wanting to be a teenager? I don't know what it's like to be as good as you at your age, and I was a world junior champion. You have a lot of talent. How are you even coping with that?
It's a daily reminder of how far I've come and how far I can go. You know, when I get stressed out, especially moving to the next level, which is college, and I see I'm training with some of the fastest women in the world and, you know, people that have been on the college stage and I don't know what I'm doing, you know, I tell myself, you know, I've got this far, I've done all these things, and I deserve to be here. You know, even though workouts are absolutely death,
yes,
and I am on the ground for a good 30 minutes, I get up afterwards and I feel better, you know, and I told myself, I was like, I need to make the mindset switch that high school mindsets are not going to win college races. And I've definitely got into that mode because when you look at high school and then you look at college, they're two completely different things. You know, you can get away with a lot of things in high school. But in college, I you can't do that.
Yeah, because you're going to be competing against grown women.
Yeah.
A little further, 2019 Worlds, 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. It times out for you very well. You'll be, 2 or 3 years under your belt in college. Tell me about what you've learned based on your first experience, albeit at a young age in Rio, that you think you'll be able to draw from specifically in Tokyo, where you'll say, you know what, that will not happen again because I remember what that was like 4 years ago, and I will not make that mistake this time?
I think just underestimating that everybody's trying to win. I think I kind of saw it going into Rio. Okay, I just need to qualify through the rounds. But some people are fighting to get to that next round, and I definitely didn't have that fight in me when I went the first time, and I think I'll definitely have it the next time.
Let's talk about what I call the prodigy factor. This sport has had tons of prodigies who do not make it all the way. Tell me if that's something you're aware of, and if you are aware of it, what do you think will be the reason why that will not happen to you? We will not say, hey, whatever happened to, as we have with so many others.
Right. I think it has to do with a lot of things. Part of it being going pro too early and making that your paycheck, and you're training hard every day. And, I think part of me not going pro is me being able to keep my social life and my teenage life intact. I wanted to be able to, being able to run on a team is a big thing with me. Being able to have people I can rely on and depend on. When you're a pro, it's basically you and a couple training partners, and that's it. But being able to have a team and run on relays was a big thing, as well as, what is it? Oh, yes, not being overrun too quickly. A lot of people think that you need to run this fast every year, get faster and faster. But I think the thing for me that's going to help me stay in it is progressionally, slowly moving my way up. If you jump too quickly and you just drop 2 seconds like that, it's like, where is there to go? And then you have to maintain that. So I think the big thing, if trying to stay on top is your thing, is slowly breaking your record each time. Because, if you just go and you just start dropping times, then you're expected to stay at that time.
Right. So you have all this, everything about you is world class, your performances and your accomplishments and all that. Give me the most teen thing that you're into.
Netflix.
That's very teen. It's very adult too, but so what, tell me a little bit about what else occupies your time when you're not training or competing? Besides Netflix.
Yes. I have a really great group of friends that I made in college, but I'm so thankful for them. Actually, it's Thanksgiving, so I'm very thankful for them.
So these are new friends?
New friends,
okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That seemed to be a big part of your whole decision to not go pro. You like the whole being away from home now and college life and new college friends and all of that. What it would seem to a lot of people, hey, I could take or leave that and be happy with being a pro. Why was that so important to you?
Because friends are consistent. Money is not consistent. Times are not consistent always. And I need something that is going to always be there when I lose, Right. The money may not be there when I lose, and friends that support you through the thick and the thin, I think, are definitely important.
Well, I can tell you, as I said, I haven't seen many prodigies that I was sure of, but I am sure that you will be one of the best. So my prayer for you and my hope for you, injury-free, level head, and continued success with Court Flow.
Thank you.